What is up, Bomber fans? What is up, Rum Hut Nation? It's your boy Nick, reporting from the Rum Hut like usual. Lately, this has been a daily video series. We're gonna keep it as consistent as we can here at the channel, here in the nation, here in the Rum Hut Nation at the lovely Appleton Estates. I come to you once again asking you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoy this kind of content. If you want to see more of it, please do so. Not required, it is free. Anyways, into the notes. And doing like I usually do when I should be working, I am scrolling through Twitter. Classic. Well, this was interesting. There was a lot of talk today about Janarian Grant, which was pretty expected. Whenever there is a receiver, and you have to understand, I have been knee deep in watching the Bombers for at least 20 years now, minimum. 30 years old now, and I have had season tickets going with my aunt to every single home game, watching every game on TV since 2004. So I know I've had season tickets since 2004. I think we've been going since before that. So I've seen a million receivers. I've seen a million returners. Whenever a returner gets a touchdown or a couple touchdowns, they are immediately, especially in Winnipeg, for some reason, you are immediately the greatest returner that ever lived. Nobody can ever replace you. You are some sort of special human being. Remember what happened before that, right? We lost Lucky Whitehead. Okay, Lucky Whitehead was the kick returner. He was this big star, and they brought in some nobody. Janarian Grant. I don't know what to tell you guys. You guys make such a big deal about a guy playing a position that's not even one of the most important positions on the field, because you can find 8 million guys who can run the football and catch a punt or a kick. Guess what? Lucky Whitehead is a free agent. So if the Bombers really needed a kick returner, there's your guy. Right? So it's all to do about nothing. People like to complain for the sake of complaining. It also is a very, very clear key to me to show that they don't know what they're talking about. Darren Bombing, who I have read his tweets on the show in the past, this guy's a ball knower. He knows ball. Fair assessment. I do wonder how much scheme blocking and the special teams execution overall were a factor. There was another tweet he put out, and here, somebody completely aware of how horrible the return game was prior to the Grant's arrival. Personally, wish they went younger and cheaper at a different position. He was an extremely valuable to this team. Okay, he was a good returner. He is not irreplaceable. And depending what his value is, because the CFL does not release, or most teams do not release salaries, I'm sure that they would rather have spent the money, bringing back a receiver or one of their O-linemen that they had to re-sign, or a D lineman or a linebacker or a DB, a kick returner returns maybe 3 or 4 kicks a game. Is so much easier to replace than an impact player at a premium position. It's just such nonsense to me. And Blair, I'm not coming at you personally. It is very, very common. I think that kick returner is the most replaceable position on the field. Not even close. It's not even close. It's the most replaceable position that there is. So the fact that they went cheaper and younger at kick returner, I think is a great thing. You can go and find a kick returner or a fast guy from just about any neck of the woods. And if you can't, guess what? You're either not good enough at scouting, or you can go and sign Lucky Whitehead. There you go. In non-Bombers related news, Very interesting interview. As Bert Kreischer's podcast, I don't know what his podcast is called, but Bert basically asked him about his time in the CFL, jokingly asking about how the talent is there, and Johnny didn't hold back. He actually was very he praised the talent in the CFL quite a bit, actually, and said there's 4 or 5 players on each team that could be in the NFL. So I thought that was actually a pretty classy move for a guy who's got quite a few issues. Kind of feel bad for the guy. He had quite a bit that was thrust on him at one time. So I thought that was a pretty good move by him, actually, which is a pretty surprising coming from Johnny because of how he usually operates. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Something that if you're a football fan or a CFL fan, I mean, if you're a CFL fan, you knew that. There's tons of guys that are on our rosters throughout our great game that could play in the NFL, hands down. You cannot convince me Willie Jefferson is not an NFL level athlete. That is just absurd. Okay, so another round of cuts for the Bombers, and it must suck for these guys because, you've been doing this for, probably a month now at training camp. The first home game preseason is actually on Friday, and, you're getting cut. So there's 3 more receivers that are getting cut. We got Peter Affle, Tyler Adams, Jalen Hall, and then an offensive lineman, Khalil Keith. Don't know a lot about some of these guys. The one that did stick out to me in the preseason game against Sask was Tyler Adams. He made actually a couple pretty good plays at the end of the game. I think he came back to the football when Terry Wilson was scrambling out. So I actually was quite impressed with Tyler Adams. Obviously, they want to go in a different direction. My prediction is going to be that whoever's going to be that receiver that gets the spot of Rashid Bailey, it's going to be somebody who could probably return kicks as well. So that would be my prediction. Obviously, they're going to have a couple guys that stick around in practice roster, but obviously, I would assume these guys probably wouldn't be the ones that keep on practice roster if they've already been cut. So these guys all going to be cut. 4 guys today, 3 receivers, one offensive lineman. In other news, we have Pat Neufeld back on the O-line, playing in his familiar right guard spot. Very important, as O'Shea elaborated on, for him to be out there because they want to build continuity. And there's going to be a new right tackle obviously this year with Hardrick gone. So important for him to be out there. Good to see him back on the field. The grizzled vet. The man does not look like a football player, but you know what? He'd probably kick all of our asses. So what am I saying? Good to see him out there. And I'm assuming we're going to see all the offensive line on Friday. Alright guys, just a quick video today. Not a lot happening in the Bombers news today. They are obviously getting prepped for their game on Friday, May 31st. Very, very excited to get down to this place right here. Princess Auto Field now. So very exciting. I hope to see all your beautiful faces down in the south side of Winnipeg at Princess Auto Field. And we will see you down at the Rum Hut. So peace out, Rum Hut Nation. Thank you once again for viewing this content. If you are enjoying, please hit the like and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. Peace.